Hi, I'm Shaprotham and I am the creator of the 7-Step Vortex program. I'm here today to demonstrate to you guys the headstand and how it's to be performed, for how long, and what are the things that you need to keep in mind while performing the king of all asanas. Here's a note about the king of all asanas. Sirsasana, the headstand, is one of the most beneficial asanas that a person could practice. It is the most important posture practiced by yogis. The posture gives a person great strength in the mind and great strength in body. It enables a practitioner to bear any kind of weather condition. When a practitioner becomes an adept at practicing this posture, he is able to go out into snow without even a shirt. He is able to wear a jacket in desert-like conditions. This asana has a very powerful effect on the mind. It is especially known for its ability to increase a person's power of remembering things. Memory power basically enhances a person's memory. It enhances a person's intellect. It sharpens a person's intellect. The reason for this is because a practitioner basically stands on his or her head. Now, when you stand on your head, what happens is that all the blood, all the venous blood from your legs flows into your brain. Your brain gets all that oxygenated blood, and it's not that straightforward because the blood from your leg flows into your heart and then into your lungs and then into your brain. It's like double nutrition for your brain. And this is why this posture is so beneficial for your head. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to demonstrate to you the technique, the correct method to practice this asana. It took me a few years to master the right technique, but I'm going to help you guys out in case you're interested in learning the correct way to practice Sirsasana or the headstand. Join me. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how Sirsasana is to be performed. I'm here standing on my mat. Step 1. Step 2. Kneel down. Step number 3. Elbows down. So if you guys are beginners, it would help to use a yoga belt. Something like this. A yoga belt in this case is going to ensure that your hands don't go out too wide or doesn't cave in and cause your chest to go to sort of crunch inside. What you want to do is take the belt, put it like this, just above your elbows, and make sure that it is shoulder width apart, like so. Now what you need to do is next is place your elbows on the ground, create a cup, lock your fingers together, and now what you're going to do is you're going to kneel down and you're going to raise your hips behind you. So you're not going to go like this. You're going to raise your hips up. Alright? And the next thing that you would do is place the back side of your head right in the middle of this area of your palm. You cup them, and once you have adjusted yourself in this position, straighten your knees. While you straighten your knees, make sure to raise your shoulders a bit like this. So you basically go like this. You get this movement. You can practice it a few times. Once you raise your hips, once you straighten your knees, did you see that? What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this movement from a different angle. So basically, it's a compound movement. What you're going to do is after you place the backside of your head, like so, you're going to straighten your knees. Straighten the legs. Lift your butt up. Pardon the language, but 21st century. Lift your butt up, and then with a jump, go up. It is at this point that you realize how helpful it is to use a yoga belt. Because if you do it without the yoga belt, what happens is that there is a lot of strain on your shoulders and on your elbows. So you go like this, and you go up, and in case this happens, you're in trouble. This is a beautiful device here. You're like this, and down, raise your hips, straighten your legs, and just it's a compound movement. With a thrust from your feet, raise your hips off the floor and your legs off the floor, and straighten your legs right up to the ceiling. It is important to understand how much your elbows should spread out and stay in. For example, I found out that my elbows were a bit more spread out than I would like them to be. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to readjust the belt, because I just found out that my elbows are wider than I would like them to be. It's closer now, more stability. In this pose, it's important to keep your feet joined together, your knees, your legs absolutely straight. It would help if you tighten your knees absolutely straight. You need to ensure that you are standing on your head, the center of your head, not on this side, not on the back, not over here, the center of your head. And this is a wonderful device to ensure that you are able to make those slight adjustments in order to bring the center of gravity right over here. Now, a word on the breathing. When you get into the posture, it is important that you take in deep breaths. Deep, calm, slow, and steady. Do not hold your breath. And do not allow any sort of hurried breathing, sort of like first master the position, and then the breathing technique will come off its own accord. The other thing that I would like to talk about when you are standing on your head is to ensure that your shoulders raise up a bit. This movement, your shoulder flexation over here near your collarbones is important, because if it drops, that's not a good position to be in. For example, this is not good. This is not good at all. So you need to raise your shoulders up, because if you don't do that, if you don't do this, and if you just leave them, you will slant backwards. So you need to do the opposite. So that is how you do the headstand. For beginners, it's very beneficial to use this, or you could use the wall. Cop it against the wall, above the elbows, cup, and place it against the wall. You got that? And then 1, 2, 3. Oh, feels so good. Oh, feels so good. So when you do this, when you use the wall for say about a month or two, gradually you should be able to balance on your own. without using the wall support. It is important to use this in the beginning for safety reasons as well, especially for people with weak necks. Now, as I told you, this is a technical pose. It's not that easy to do, but hopefully what I showed you has made it easier for you. I've been doing it for a long time, so I think I make it look easy, but trust me, it is actually easy once you get to know exactly how to do it. The important points are: keep your elbows shoulder width apart. Never like this, never. It can be like this, but not like this, okay? This movement, this part of your collarbone should be raised, alright? Abs should be tightened. When you are in this posture, engage your core. Don't let it drop. Tighten your buttock. Tighten the core. These are your core muscles. They have to be stiff. Okay, but not so stiff that you can't breathe. Your core muscles are on the inside, not on the outside, okay? You could have a soft belly over here, but it can be as hard as a rock on the inside. It's all about what's on the inside, okay? Secondly, your legs. Your legs have to be straight, no bend. No bending of the legs, knees tight. And then your hips. Hips have to be joined, have to be squeezed against each other. Squeeze. This is loose, squeeze, engage. This is disengaging your core. The core is not engaged. This is called engaging the core. It makes such a big difference. The sides over here need to be tightened as well. And then we move to the armpits and these muscles over here. You must be able to feel a stretch. A stretch and a tightness over here. Alright? Few simple points, but it makes a big difference. Your back should be straight, no arch, straight. Alright? And when you come down, while you go up, the transition from raising your heels and bringing them down should be very smooth and should be centered around your dorsal region over here. This is where the movement should happen. It should not be something like this. It should not be sort of like that's wrong. Everything has to be smooth and gradual. It has to be like this. You see that? All the strength is over here in the shoulders. And this is why using this becomes very important. This is all that you need to know about how to perform a perfect headstand. I also created a very powerful series of breathing techniques that I have been practicing for many years. And I've created a program known as the 7-Step Vortex Program. The 7-Step Vortex Program enhances the way your chakras work. It is a program that triggers the activation of your Kundalini. I have taken 15 years of my experience and condensed it down into this 7-Step Vortex course. Do check out the link down below. And also, for more videos on yoga and further demonstration of asanas, subscribe. See you in the next video and stay aligned.